Well, brothers and sisters, welcome back to the Behaviour Revolution. I've got my boys here, and there were some red squares that we didn't deal with a couple of weeks ago that were put out about the generations, written from a boomer perspective, and it stirred up quite a kerfuffle. And being younger than the boomers, and the boys being younger than the boomers, I thought we should go through these red squares before they disappear into the annals of time down the news feed and discuss them. So that's what we're going to do. Yeah? Who's closer? Can you drive, Brandon? Can you drive for me? Let's get rid of the flabliverance. Is it going to work? Yeah. So let's go. Taking turns. You read, Brandon. You got the nice mic, so you can read them.
Do you believe the generations under the boomers, who are now the most populous in the world, have the guts to actually speak out the truth about Yahusha?
Our generation's the most populous. If you want to talk to me through the camera like a mirror, so then you don't have to crane your mix around. Yeah? So, just so we can fit in the shot. What do you think about that? Let's spitball. There's no rules. No, we can relax. Yeah. This is coming from an old man telling you your generation's the most populous. Have you got the guts to speak the truth about Yahusha?
I don't think they do. Not in their current state.
No?
No.
Just that music's too loud. What do you think, Brandon?
I think... I don't really know.
Hey?
I don't really know. Some people are, some people aren't. So
Yeah.
You can't really specify against just one generation.
Well, it's talking about our generations, yours and mine.
Well, see, me and Mike are in the same generation, and then someone else that might be in our generation as well that doesn't speak out, but we do. So I don't really know how to answer that question.
Well, then take it to yourself then, to reach your generation. Have we got the guts? Me to my generation and you to your generation, have we got the guts to speak out the truth about Yahusha?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah? You've been woken up to that calling, to that mandate?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Well, let's go on. I want you to think about how these squares make you feel. Yeah? Next one.
Can you imagine these weak, sloppy-minded younger generations taking hold of themselves to kill the worship of the self and become men and women of Yahusha in power? Seems impossible.
Yeah? Response?
I guess people out of our quarry, yeah. That seems about right. Nobody else would do that. They're too into themselves.
Yeah. Let me make it easy for you, boys. I rung Christopher up after reading these and went, what about your effing generation? What about you telling me, at my generation, how dare you tell me, look what your generation's sown and what's this and what's that? And I went off my face. How dare, you're included in this too, and he just laughed. That's the whole point. Here I am thinking, oh yeah, I receive all this. But what came out of me was not acceptance, was it? Oh, it was a how dare, and it's going to go into that. The ageism. I'm in the middle, so I'm thinking, yeah, I understand the younger and I understand the older, but then when the older talks to me, what's my reaction?
Get angry.
So what rose up in me, I had to look at what my genuine response was.
Yeah. An
older person telling me, and it's not even telling me personally, it wasn't written for me, but it's written for everybody. But you know what I'm saying? See how Yahusha made something manifest that was in there?
Yeah.
So, anything like that happen when you're reading it?
First time I read it, I was, making the squares, and I was like, I saw it, and I read it, and I was like, what the flip? That was unexpected.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it a little bit, and I was like, yeah, I guess it's true. I mean, it's not like they are going out of their way to find Yahusha. So it's not all on the generations above that, like the fact that they don't have it because they didn't give it to them. Younger generations aren't looking for it.
No.
So.
But you know what it means? The older generations have, to the best of their ability, they've opened up their homes, they've made everything hospitable, they've given the love, they've raised a certain generation. And I'm talking about people in Yahushua here.
Yeah.
And they see the younger generations that are, what does it say? Into the worship of self.
Yeah.
You know? So it seems impossible, doesn't it? Weak, sloppy-minded younger generations taking hold of themselves. Do you think we can do that?
Yes.
Instead of just taking the message personally?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think having this come to you at your age? A baby boomer generation telling you that this is the reputation of your generation. All of you.
I don't really care that much, to be honest.
Hey?
I don't really associate that with me, because our generation's stupid. They're all into their phones and technology and everything. Just so, like, I don't know.
That's a healthy way to look at it. You don't associate your generation with you.
Yep.
Because you're in Yahushua. And then it's going to flip. It's going to flip around though to Yahushua saying, "Well, how are we going to reach? How are you going to reach your generation, my generation? You know." Scripture says that many of them won't be, but how are we going to at least try to? You know. Let's go on. It's going to be a bit slow. Yeah.
It takes guts to face the truth about your uncleanliness. Where is the generational revival? And Yahushua is so close to coming back.
Takes guts to face the truth about your uncleanliness, your uncleanness. Where is the generational revival? Where is coming back to life, you know? Like they had in the book of Acts, you know? Truth went out and 3,000 were converted in one day. We don't see that kind of power happening, do we? Yet. I think it's coming though. Because it just takes one family, one quarry. I mean, Yahushua had 12 people. There were more in the upper room, but when that fire came down and the tongues of fire, it just took one room of people, you know? It said they're all there together in one accord, of one mind, in unity. We talked about that the other night, didn't we?
Yeah.
You get one quarry, one assembly that's in unity. What were the three things? In unity, thinking the same.
No division.
No division. Yeah? Yeah. And this has come off the heels of the last few chapters of Revelation where he's just pounding the assemblies with what they're doing wrong, because they're not doing this. And the whole new covenant started on Yahushua's blood and then started with this massive revival of people in unity, in one mind, under the guidance of the 12 disciples. And by the time John's writing to them, all the world's seeped in again. You see how Yahushua's firing up our quarry, dealing with things left, right and centre? This is why. I don't want to be doing all the talking. Come on. What do you think? Can you see how it's all starting to associate?
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one.
Younger generations. It's all about the blood of Yahushua, cleansing us from sin and entering the vein of deliverance, becoming a family member of Yahushua. Who the hell are you reaching?
Who the hell are you reaching? Yeah? Everything that comes up in a meeting, when we gather together, everything you hear the shepherds say, every thought, everything that happens in your day could possibly be an opportunity. Check it with Yahusha. Could be an opportunity to go, oh yeah, that's a good point. I'll talk about that. Yeah. Particularly in this day of AI where you can just type anything in and get a script in 5 seconds. It's something to work off, you know. and you can easily just don't use the script as gospel, but it's just something to work off and go, oh, look what it's done here, that's rubbish, you know. But you know, everything can be an opportunity to reach your generation, you know. You should be thinking like that, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like you're being roused on. Do you feel like you're being roused on or something? No?
Yeah.
You are?
Nah, I was joking.
Oh. So you don't feel like you're being roused on? No. You will just wake up or something?
Yeah, when he made the square, majority of us, even in our house, weren't really doing much. So I think it's can be applied to us as well. Yeah.
A wake up, shake up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when he made that one.
Yeah, well, where are we?
That was only a couple of days ago.
January. No, that doesn't look right. It wasn't January. Oh yeah, that's 2 weeks. It's the 19th to 14th today. So this is
9 days ago.
9 days ago, yes, a week and a half ago. So, yeah. And I was going to do a video about them, just to say pretty much what I said, how angry I got. And I, if anybody asked me, I understand the older point of view, and I understand the younger point of view. I'm in the middle. Like, I was raised sort of both ways. And yet when someone talks to me from the older generation, look what comes out of me. I was going to make a video about that, but I thought, you boys can come in on it, and I'd like to know what you think.
Well,
you know?
What are the older and younger points of view to you?
Well, the older generation have the baby boomers, my parents, Christopher and Victoria. They were raised quite liberally after the war. There was a lot of depression, a lot of scarcity and starvation, and everyone was poor because there was a depression, Great Depression. So by the time the baby boomers came along, they were determined to raise their children with everything. So my generation was raised with everything. Trips, swimming pools, holidays, you name it. We were raised with everything. Private schools, we had everything we wanted because the baby boomers were raised pretty hard. So they gave us everything we wanted. But the problem with that is we've now got a very selfish generation that just wants everything immediately. And we've passed that on to our children. It just gets weaker and weaker. Like the discipline, the training and the truth gets watered down each generation, you know? So it's easy for me to look at the younger generation and go, oh, they don't even want to go to work, or they don't want this and they don't want that. Not you guys work with. And the older generation, I can see how they feel. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, when I stand there and the clients, oh, these bloody young children with their low phones and their Uber and their... And then I see the younger generations looking up at the older generations, and they're always angry. Not the people in Yahusha, of course, but the old people, you see them at work, they're angry. They've been working their whole life, slaving their whole life, and it hasn't worked, has it?
No.
They might have a house, but it's falling apart. You know, they might have wealth, but then they're losing their health. You know, so life isn't the dream they were promised. The great Australian dream is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the older people are realising they were ripped off. The younger people are looking at it going, we can't even buy a house because of you. You know, so there's all this stuff going on in the world. And I'm kind of in the middle going, you know, our generation, when I look in the world, they say, oh, we're the best generation because we know how to talk to people still because we weren't raised on social media. And, you know, so then my generation lifts itself up and then has itself on, you know. And yet, when I get told by Christopher about these squares, I go off my face. So I have to look at what's in me, you know. You look confused.
I'm not confused.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Yeah? So my point was, I was having myself on thinking, oh yeah, I understand both sides. But when I'm told something, do I respond how I'm supposed to, or do I take it personally?
Personally.
You know? So, and then I can't, only that I have a good relationship with Christopher, I wouldn't say it to anybody else in the street. You know? I'd just go, oh, silly old man. But because it's coming from Yahusha, and I know the person, I go, what about your generation? I wanted to throw his generation in his face, and that was funny, because he's achieved the right in Yahusha to say these things. So, that makes sense?
Yeah.
How do you feel about it? You see all the generations. Remember, there's no generation gap in Yahusha because he gets rid of all that. We're supposed to be behaving in love to each other. So, but we're talking about out in the world. You see it, don't you?
I think every generation just worships themselves. Having a conversation with anyone, they're always talking about themselves and their successes and everything they've done. So, generations aside, it's just self-worship.
Yeah. Well, do you want to reach your generation?
Yeah, but I also want to reach every generation.
I see. So yeah, you had an issue with that, didn't you? How come I'm only allowed to reach? How come I only have to reach my generation? Because you know who you're more likely to. You know, do you, when you go through your feed and your algorithm, are there lots of old people on there? Are there lots of people Hunter's age on there? No, there's people, comedians, actors, people in the world who are around about your age, aren't there? Give or take.
I mean, I get lots of old men playing guitar sometimes, so.
Yeah, but that's because you're a musician. That's different. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it gathers to like, you know?
Yeah.
So, just pause that for a second. She wants to grow her hair a bit longer. Now I've got to find where I want.
She's just poor.
Just poor. Maybe. All right.
She decided to get Uber Eats instead of a haircut today.
She's an older lady, mate. We don't get Uber Eats.
Yeah, well, that's exactly the thing.
Yeah.
Our generation gets Uber Eats because we are younger and can't necessarily drive to get food.
Yeah.
You older people, you people can just go get food whenever you want.
Yeah. But we don't, though, a lot of the time.
But
the value of $1 is lost. That's the thing. You younger guys could throw $5 away and not care. Whereas I'd be like, $5? That's an extra pizza. You know, like, but then my generation's like that with other things too. And the older generation goes, you should be saving that. Every dollar counts, you know. Just every generation gets flippant, you know, with it. That every $5 times it by 7, times it by 52, times it by, you know, it all adds up, you know.
I think it's because, you know, back when the baby boomers were like our age, they actually had something to save for. When at our age, like you buy a car, you know, and then you don't really have a chance of buying a house, or you know, unless you get passed down, there's low chance of becoming a business owner or anything like that, because everything's just blown up. So there's not really any value in saving because it's not achievable.
Well, not big things.
No.
Not in the next year or so. So
that's not the point anyway.
What's the
in
point?
Yahusha, you don't need any of that. You don't need a house to be in Yahusha. Like Rob, he's just going to live in a van.
Yeah.
So
That's it. I mean, that was the point. Remember when we talked about the generations and we all watched those Nick Fuentes videos and Christopher got us all to talk about how we felt about the generation gap, and then he said there's one thing you're not talking about, how Yahusha operates. And as you said, the point is there is no generation gap, you know, because it's spiritual what we're trying to, you know, we're living for Yahusha, you know. So, yeah, we're not going through these because we believe there's a generation gap, shouldn't be, in our quarry. The point is, who are we going to reach those who still... You're reaching your generation because in the world there is a generation gap. So Yahusha gives everybody in the quarry of all different ages, men and women, different gifts. So, and the abilities you guys have in the younger generations is not the same abilities that the older generations have, you know? Christopher could sit there and talk to people for hours and hours and reach people like that. That's his gift. You guys have different gifts, so which are more appropriate for younger generations. So that's the point, you know?
Yeah.
Let's go on.
Yahusha says we are rewarded according to our works, which are stored in heaven. The works must be guided by the spirit of Yahusha Alahim. How will your generation even know?
I mean, Christopher's answered most of these questions with you boys, hasn't he? You don't go around preaching at them. Thus, thee, thou, the scripture says you shouldn't do that. He just said if you're talking to somebody or you make friends with somebody, you can guide them. Oh, I wouldn't do that. Or this will happen. Yeah. And they'll learn to trust your word because they'll come back to you and say, oh, that really happened. You've done that with a couple of your mates, haven't you? You've told them about the rules. Encourage them not to take things personal at work and just let them have it. Remember all that. Where are you today? You're not very talkative. Well, you're not very talkative today.
I'm just taking it in.
Just taking it in. Yeah. So the works must be guided by the spirit of Yahusha Alahim. There's nowhere delivered to do works. That's the whole purpose, apart from the fact that he loves us so much. We are delivered to do good works. But the works must be guided by the spirit of Yahusha Alahim. Yeah? Got to hear his voice say and do it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's go on.
Look at the slops your generations are rolling in and drinking. They look at us with drunken eyes like we are fools and can't see their own state. They blame parents. Can you wake them up?
You notice a lot of that amongst your generation? I'm not in your generation, so I don't know. I know my generation's always has blamed their parents for something. Our generation's bitter and angry at the older generations, always blaming someone else. What about yours?
I think it's not so much blaming parents, it's just blaming anyone else. Like, if something happens, it's not just the parents' fault, it's this person's fault. You know, anyone they can blame.
They'll throw anybody under the bus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone who's had any sort of effect on them.
Rather than face himself.
Yeah.
You see that?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So the slops. Look at this old guy telling us we are in slops. Slops. Did you know that's how the older generations feel about us? Slops. Look at us with drunken eyes like we are fools. Haven't we done that to the older people before? Yeah. Roll our eyes and look at them and, oh, here we go again. Yeah, that's ageist. And yet they're trying to wake us up. Can you see that? No? I'm talking about Christopher here.
Yeah. But this
not every old generation is trying
pointed
to
at us because there's no generation gap in Yahusha.
Say again?
There's no generation gap in Yahusha, so is this pointed at us?
Yeah, because it's about getting out of the slops, getting the mandate together, getting the quarry together, as we're all starting to do, starting to drag our carcasses out of the slops that we're in and the self-worship we've been in, you know? All the things all the time in a day where we could be energized and turned on for Yahusha and we just don't, you know? That's self-worship. Self-worship isn't choosing to go to work because, you know, get to a certain age, you've got to work, you know? You've got to have money for this or that in life. That's not what it's talking about. It's all the time outside of work, you know? Work, minimum of 6, 7, 8 hours sleep, and then everything else outside of that is what are you doing with it? And the older generation is looking at us going, slop. You know? And this isn't just some old bitter man having a go at us. This is Yahusha coming to us saying, and he sees everything, saying, all your spare time, slop, you know? I'm here with you all the time. It's time to wake up and be turned on. Like you said the other day, Brandon, when you do these things, you know, you feel high, you know. Did you say that? You said
Probably,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's good. Way to commit to it, mate. That's good. Yeah. Let's move on. You better read this one, Mikey. He's yelling at us.
It is your responsibility.
That's not yelling at us.
You want me to yell?
It is your responsibility to wake up your own generations to the deliverance and love from Yahusha. How are you going?
We're getting there. Making videos.
Yes.
But it could be better.
Yep.
I think we started off strong a while back when we started. Joe and I started doing the thing, and then it died, and just kind of disappeared. And then since those guys came back up, it's been starting to happen again. And the Yahusha's moved everyone. Everyone's doing their own kind of projects for it. So I think everyone's getting back into it. And I mean, I think we're doing pretty good considering we overtook the Behavior Evolution page in followers.
Oh yeah, what's happened?
Generation User got 1.4 thousand followers, and Behavior Evolution's only got 1.1.
Your Generation Yahusha page on Facebook has 1,400 followers.
Yeah.
And our Behavior Evolution page has 1,100.
So I think we're pretty.
How did you do that when you haven't put a damn thing on it for 3 years?
Because I mean, we have a lot more. I think it's not
Younger
just
people.
Yeah, we have younger people, but it's not also. It's also just about the. I guess.
Don't say content. There hasn't been any.
I guess you could use the word marketing, or you know, people who hear of Yahusha, when they search something up, they're not going to search behavior. They're going to search Yahusha, and this comes up, and I think the word generation generally catches people's attention.
Yeah.
Because they want to hear what other people have to say. Are they going to have a dig at me, or And then they go onto it, and although there wasn't for a while a lot of stuff on there, there was stuff on there from the Behavior Revolution page and from our page.
That's exciting, mate.
That gets
Can you
people's
see now
attention.
why you have to reach your generation on the Generation Yahusha page? Because you got more followers than me. So what are you going to feed them? What are you going to feed them? Yeah? This is what I mean. Everything we take from the long form, because your generations don't like long form videos, do they? No. So everything we do in the long form videos, because you saw it the other night, Hunter's going through 30-second videos and he hands me the remote and says, what do you want to watch, Dad? And I put something on that goes for half an hour. Everything that we do in our meetings or videos or anything that comes out, you guys look at it and go, yeah, I'll take that bit. Thank you. I'll take that bit. I'll take that bit. That's how I'm thinking every time Christopher's talking. I go mental sometimes. I see things and I hear music and I all sorts of things. Oh yeah, I can do this, I can do that. You're using everything, pulling from everything you see. Someone says something at work, you go, oh, that's a good topic. Yeah, that'll go down. Because you've got an audience.
Yeah. 1,400
people. Might not look a lot compared to YouTube stats, but if you put that many people in your room, you put that many people in a hall, sitting there listening to you, that's a lot.
People.
So they want to be fed.
Yeah.
So you boys have something to feed them.
Yeah.
And the pressure's not on you to come up with fresh stuff all the time. It should be, but Yahusha's showing us and teaching us. The shepherd's teaching us stuff every week. And Yahusha's giving us stuff all the time that you hear, Yeah. Does this make sense?
Yes.
So it's our responsibility to wake up the generations. Just go on. 1 1,400 followers. You bitch.
Yeah.
How many of the generations under the boomers tell you about Yahusha's deliverance? What are you going to do about your generations? The boomers will all soon be dead, and then what?
What if Yahusha chose to carry on a bit longer and the boomers died out? It's up to us, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know? To carry it on.
Yeah.
I mean, Christopher did die a few months ago and they brought him straight back. What would we be doing if he didn't get brought back?
Not good.
Well, I'd like to think Yahusha would work us out. Because he's the one who brings the fire, isn't he?
Well.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Not good. It shows us where we're at, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be all on one person. Did we deal with that? Tell you about deliverance. What are you going to do about your generations? Boomers will be dead. Then what?
Just gotta keep pumping content, getting it out there. That's why we're making individual, because you said make like one thing with all the photos in it. But if we make individual ones, you get out further.
Yeah.
Because you got more to work with.
Yeah. And put it into a video form. Yeah. Even if you can't get your face on it straight away, just record it. Yeah. Read it out. So you've got the audio.
Yeah.
Done those ones. I've taken the red squares and put audio behind them. Or you just put your face on it. 90 seconds. Yeah?
Yeah. I got a couple of them.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like just when I was doing that thing you asked, with all the photos, it was like, do you want to make a 90-second one as well? I was like, okay. So. Good. Keep feeding it. Get it going. You getting inspired by things? You getting inspired by things? Things you could talk about? Things you could address?
Sort of.
Just been through 6 months of revelation and all. That's just complete change you've had in that time. Lots of things that you've observed.
Yeah.
And turfed out, obviously.
What do you mean?
Turfed out of your behaviour, turfed out of your... You weren't like this when you first come up here, so clearly you've seen stuff and you don't want this and you want that and you don't want this. You don't want to think that anymore, you know?
Yep.
Well, there's people out there that don't have a chance. They're just sucked into the system with their VR goggles on, you know? They're just completely lost.
But they aren't really looking either.
No, they're not. But if you put something in front of them that's not too long form, and you address it and you talk to them a certain way, this is what has to be from your generation, because if I start talking to them, they'll be like, oh, who's this? Oh, yeah, here we go. You know, when Hunter does that to me, looks at me and goes, yeah, mate, you don't even know what I'm talking about, Dad, you know? You know how he does that to everybody, you know? Well, that's why I say to him, well, you work it out and tell your generation how you would say that, you know? However they would start a video, you start a video, you know? So, because I've gotten in the camera's face and go, do you know this and do you know that? You know, for shock tactics. But that may not work for you guys. Or it might. It's up to you. I don't know. You know? That's what I mean. Think about the sort of videos you watch, and then you think about how to draw people in. You're fishing. Yeah. Next one.
What about ageism? See how generations under the boomers treat older people? Yahusha said we are all equal. What a miserable failure of his word are those who partake in such disrespect.
Yep. Complete failure of his word. That's what we have to dig out of us. When that raises its ugly head, and you go, I'm not allowed to be this. You guys think?
I think, personally, I don't see much of that in our quarry.
Ageism?
No, not particularly. I mean, personally, I don't feel that way about like, I can have a proper conversation with Chris, Victoria, Rob, all you guys. Just treat you like I would treat any of the others. Obviously, depending on the topic.
Do you feel like it's been treated down to you though? Down as in generationally? The ageism? Ageism goes both ways, you know.
Yeah, in some ways.
Have you been given the respect of your age and your intellect? Or have you just been spoken down to?
I think before it was a lot of, just kind of spoken down to. But I think as we've been getting further into Yahusha, and you know, he's been opening people's eyes and showing us what he wants. Everyone's been treating each other more like equals. Yeah.
See, that's the goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you're men. You're men. We're all brothers and sisters in Yahusha.
Yeah.
If something practical in the quarry needs to be dealt with, you just deal with it. But we're still, we're brothers and sisters, you know? You know? Do you find that? How you've been treated? You've been in a couple of quarries, so not that down there was a quarry, but as a home, you know? You've seen how parents and children treat each other?
Yeah. There's no respect for either side. Younger generation doesn't respect their parents, and the parents don't respect their children.
Yeah.
They expect the younger generations to respect their elders.
Yes. Respect your elders. Yeah.
Even if the elders are stupid.
Well, that is scriptural, actually, to respect your elders, but we live in a world where if you haven't earned it, the world today says you don't earn respect just because you haven't died yet. No. Longevity doesn't mean you've achieved anything, which is disrespectful in itself, you know. It's not kind, it's rude. It's not respecting your elders. Paul tells younger people and older people how to treat each other, and the men and the women and the old men and young men, and you know. But you're right. The old people say they demand respect, and the young people refuse to give it. It's all back to front because the older people should have taught it, you know.
Yeah.
But they didn't know Yahusha either. So this is where there shouldn't be any ageism or generation gap in the bride. Let's go on, mate.
So, what sort of thoughts are you having now, those who have only just learned how to greet one another?
Only just learned how to greet one another. How long did that take for everybody in their quarry just to start saying hello to each other? Greet one another.
Well,
give in, you know? Let each other have it. It's taken a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
I was going to say quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what sort of thoughts are you having?
Question.
Next one?
Well, what sort of thoughts are you having?
Sorry?
What sort of thoughts are you having?
Oh, well, I revealed what sort of thoughts I was having when I read it. They were quite volatile. I took it very personal.
Yeah.
Why? Well, you don't take something personally that's not true, do you? No. It's just a lie. You just go, oh, that's ridiculous. It's not true. You take it personal because it's true. Yeah? It's true. You take it to yourself and you go, look what time I've wasted. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good shift of the spotlight, by the way. So, that was a good shift. Putting the question back on me.
Well, I don't really understand it.
What sort of thoughts are you having now, those who have only just learned how to greet each other?
What do you mean greet each other? How to say hello to people?
How to say hello to people, because most younger people don't even do that, you know?
I don't know if that applies to us.
It doesn't anymore, but it used to. couldn't get you guys to say hello or goodbye or,
Really?
No, couldn't. Christopher said 20 odd years ago, teach him how to say hello and goodbye. You guys would not.
When we were like 10.
Younger. And I wouldn't enforce it enough, and it didn't happen. And your mother was against everything. So, you grew up the way you grew up.
Personally, I don't remember any of that. So I think I still don't really know how to answer that question.
Okay.
I think I don't really remember when I was a kid that much, to be honest. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Do we have tissues?
Yeah, I'll get you tissue. Go to the next one, mate. Read it.
yeah. I mean, your generations can't even get it together enough to have a decent and fresh conversation about Yahusha in love. You guys have no idea how to express yourself. How are you going to reach others?
Yeah? Just don't worry about that. Just, I can edit that out. Just blow your nose, for goodness sake.
I agree.
What does it say?
Your generations can't even get it together enough to have a decent and fresh conversation about Yahusha in love. You guys have no idea how to express yourselves. How are you going to reach others? I
Do you agree with this one?
I do. I think a lot of the time Yahusha only comes up in videos or when we have a meeting. It doesn't come. It's not the main focus in our household a lot of the time. I think, or back then, it's starting to come in a lot more. But I think it needs to come in even more.
Well, you can see there's been a power shift going on, hasn't there? And Yahusha's coming in with a hammer and smashing down that power shift. Mum's been very worldly, I've been very worldly. She's been very powerful, I've been very gutless. And there's a shift going on, yeah? Yahusha's coming in and he wants to be known, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Why were you gutless?
Why was I gutless?
Yeah.
Long story short, because I didn't want to stick in there and love her like she should have been loved and speak out like I should have spoken out. Because a few times I tried, she'd then get angry at you guys and come at you. So I thought by not speaking out and just letting her do her thing, she'd treat everybody nicer. But that's a compromise, You're best to go through it, which is what's happening now. Everybody's going through it. If you're going to do something in the public forum, it's going to get revealed, isn't it? Yeah. So, it's best to just go through it. I've done lots of things to her and she's done lots of things to me, and we've both done lots of things to our kids, and Yahusha's just not having any part of it now. It's just like, get it all together. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, does that answer your question?
Yep.
On that, I think it's Hebrews 12, where Yahusha says he flogs us because he loves us. I think the same thing can be put about that. If not even just mum, anyone is doing stuff like that, and you just stand by and let it happen, I think that's more
detrimental.
Yeah. If you can, if you don't speak out against it, then it's not just being gutless, it's not caring. And I suppose, if you speak out against it, it shows you actually care and you want her to change or anyone to change. Whereas it feels like saying, you don't do it because to keep the peace is kind of just a bit of an excuse, because in not doing it, there's no peace because Yahusha won't be there.
Yeah.
I think that's something we all need to work on.
You're spot on. Exactly right.
Yeah, speaking out, whether we want to or not, because it needs to happen.
Yeah. I agree totally, mate. Yeah. Yeah, I have to look at everything that's gone down and what I haven't dealt with and get it together now.
Right.
Because I don't want to be one of these gutless, soppy generations that's not getting it together. you know,
Yeah.
not expressing themselves. Because as it says, if you can't express yourself, get your own head together, control yourself, express yourselves in your own quarry, how are you going to reach others?
Yeah.
They see a cool video and they come to our home and go, what is this shit show? Even Rob the other night, there's something going on in this house. It's not, something not right here, you know?
Hmm.
So we have to look at that and weed it all out.
I think it's good to have videos like that up. Because otherwise, it just seems like whenever we do the videos, everyone's a lot more, like, formal. Like, everyone, except for Christopher, 'cause he's just natural in it. Everyone else is very formal. They don't like, you know, they all sit there and listen and talk, but they're not really themselves. None of us are in a video.
It's not real.
No. Whereas when you put videos up like the one like the other day, it kind of shows what's actually going on. Because what people see in the videos about, you know, anything else, it just looks like another one of those religious things, because everyone's sitting around and just, you know, very formal, very, you know, no one speaks out of turn, stuff like that. And then it doesn't really attract anyone because they've already seen it before.
Yeah.
But when we put videos out that are actually real, and I'm not saying the stuff that is being said in those videos isn't real, but rather our behavior isn't. Because, yeah, it's like when there's a camera on, everyone just acts differently.
Yep.
And they don't say what they think. And even just when Christopher's around, everyone's, you know, holding back. And I think when people see that, it doesn't really attract them.
Why are they holding back when he's around?
Because they don't want to say the wrong thing.
Why?
I think everyone has had, no one wants to get caught out. And they think that's what he's going to do. They don't understand that's not what he's here to do. He's here to help us. And if we're, you know, hiding from him, then we're not going to get, you know, nothing's going to change. Like, we can, you know, all go to a video and then agree, yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that. And then the minute he leaves, nothing happens.
Yep.
And, you know, everyone's inspired for that night when Yahusha's like there. But then it just fizzles away.
Birds take it.
Yeah. And I think that's partially because in the videos, or even just around Christopher, a lot of the time, everyone's kind of holding back, which definitely shouldn't be happening. Otherwise, yeah, there's no way to help us, because, yeah, how are we going to help other people and our generations if we can't even get it together to have a real conversation with them?
So how do we not hold back then?
Just accept.
I'm not going to say how do you not hold back. How do we all not hold back? Why are we and how do we not? Why are we doing it?
Well, we're doing it because we still love the self. We haven't let go of the self. And when Yahusha is there, and when Christopher's there speaking through, Yahusha's speaking through Christopher, we manifest and the self comes out and he shows us, and no one wants to see that. I think the best way to stop it from happening is to accept that it's happening and accept what we're being told, not trying to fight it. It's not like it's a rare thing. Everyone goes through it, and there's nothing we should be, like, you know, embarrassed or ashamed about. We should be trying to get rid of it. And I think that's the most important thing about it. And I think that's what's going to reach people more when they see that shift. When we don't have to put videos out anymore about conflict in the house, because there is none.
So what do you think makes you go quiet? Let's go individually. What do you think makes you hold back? Because you've got the gift of the gab. Why would you go quiet when you already know if Christopher's talking, he completely accepts everything you have to say? That's how I feel about you. You've been full of the word for years. Why would you, just thinking of you personally, why would you hold back? What would stop you from just going, oh my goodness, wow, I didn't know that. Damn. Because you see me reacting to Christopher all the time, because if it's something he's told multiple times, I'm like, yeah, I've heard that one before. Yeah. Everything he's saying lately is fresh. Yeah. So I'm like, wow. If I wasn't doing that, then I'd be in a state, which I've been at times too. What's stopping you from?
I think there's like kind of 2 or 3 things. When we're in a video, it's just the formality of it.
Yeah.
Often I just feel like I don't want to say something or, interrupt or anything like that. And so I get quiet, which I shouldn't be doing. I don't say what I think, and then I think it, and then I'm like, okay, I'll say this, and I don't say it, and someone else says it. And then when it's just around Christopher in general, it's just because I haven't wanted to face the self, and I haven't wanted to accept that, what I've done.
So it's like you're hiding.
Yeah. Even though, everything is brought out, when it happens, I don't want to face it. And so, it's like hiding, which until recently I've just been constantly doing whenever Chris is around. But after we started getting into, Yahusha started moving in us, and especially with these red squares, I never really used to read them often, but since making the things and reading all of them, I think that's really had an effect on me, because I can see he's just trying to help, and he's doing what Yahusha wants. And if any of us are trying to fight it by hiding or, stuff like that, then we're the problem.
Can you see that if he sits around with all of us and there's no, you must do this, it's like you said the other night when Joe said that word, it just hit him like a ton of bricks about the 3 things that we should have in our quarry. No division and the one mind and all that. He brought it out. Do you all agree with this, guys? Do you all agree with it? Yeah. So if everybody agrees with it, verbally, yes, I agree, yay, and then he leaves and the birds take the seed, has the birds taken his seed?
Nope.
No. If something happens between him and his wife, is he onto it?
No.
So he's doing it in his quarry, so then he assumes, because he thinks the best of us and loves us, that we're doing the same thing. So if he comes back the following week and everybody's in a state of everything we've just discussed now, hiding and everything, is it because people aren't doing what we all agreed on?
Yeah, I think that's definitely what has been with me personally. Just the fact, when we're with Christopher, we'll say, yeah, we agree with this, we'll do that.
And you
he
do.
comes back, yeah. And then
you get tested.
Yeah, and then stuff happens, and you have to stop doing it, or you fail it, and you just. And so, personally, that's what's happened with me. There's been so many times when I've had chats with Chris, and we've been talking about stuff, and he's like, "So are you going to do this? Are you committed to this?" I'd be like, "Yeah," and then he comes back around, and I haven't done anything. And so that's what's been for me. I think that's, yeah.
So you recognize the spirit versus the flesh. Yeah. It's not like you're sitting there BSing going, no, I don't agree with that. Because you do agree with it.
Yeah.
Your spirit's rejoicing. Oh, I feel high. This is great. I'm going to do this. Yeah. You wake up the next day, you go to work, you put up with people, and then the seed gets
taken. Yeah.
So you constantly got to try and keep the spirit from dominate. You've got to stop the flesh from dominating the spirit.
Yeah.
Things in the flesh.
Yeah.
Flesh is against the spirit. Then we've got demons coming at us as well to lift up our flesh.
I think that's what I struggled with the most. Oh, I just got a cramp.
You're right.
I think that's what I struggled with the most. Just kind of practicing that stuff, especially with 3 rules outside of the home, the quarry, at work and everything. And until recently, just the minute I got out there, it's like it would just completely disappear from my head. I just wouldn't be there. And then, I think since these guys came back in the last few weeks, there's been a huge change. I mean, personally for me, and from what I can see with everyone, but for me, it's like, even at work, I've been on it a lot more, actually thinking about it, let them have it, don't just, and I think it's been very helpful. I think,
That's really encouraging to hear, mate, because I've been wondering, because there's been a bit of a shift. Brandon hasn't been very close to me for years, and you've always been close to me, and then you've been working a lot more, and I barely see you once or twice a week. And Brandon's come close. We're hanging out almost every night, so it's I haven't known half the time you get home and I'm asleep. So, like, it's encouraging to see what's going on, that it's real and it's working. The word is working in you. That explains why everybody goes funny when the shepherd comes in, doesn't it? Do you understand the touch not my anointed? What happens if you touch the ark when you're not allowed to touch the ark? Even if it's about to fall over, you're not allowed to touch the ark.
Zaps.
Do you know what that means? Touch the anointed?
Yep.
None of us have been tempted to punch him out, I hope. But in our thoughts, we hear thoughts, And what happens when you have those thoughts? You could be having thoughts about other people, but if you go against him,
of course,
he's anointed. It's not about him, only that he's responded to Yahusha. It's about the anointing that's on him. Yeah? Did you know that we're all supposed to have an anointing? And do? So when he says that all the time. If I touched you guys like you touch me all the time and judge me and, ridicule me, then I'd be getting all the stuff you guys get. Forget it, he says. You know that? Is that all the squares, mate? Yeah, that was the end. And he goes on about Israel and other topics then. That was a different day. That's the end of this one. Yeah. Well, that's really encouraging. So we've got to get it together, don't we? Not let the bird take the seed. You are just as respected in the quarry and in the assembly as the older generations and younger generations. There's no generation gap. This is how the early assembly was functioning at the very beginning. They all lived together. They all sold their possessions and worked and lived and ate together. And they were, they lived from house to house. And how much did it just surge across the world? They're still talking about it, what Yahusha did. By the time John came along with his revelation, it was all fractured and the flesh had come back in. Leaders had come in. The Jews had come in. All the stuff had come in. Mixture. What do you think, buddy, taking all this in? What do you think about what your brother's been going through?
It's great,
Yeah?
It's,
Well, you haven't had an easy ride either. He's been in... I know Mum and I haven't had it together in our quarry, but you've had a whole different experience down south and then come back, so it's not easy, is it?
No, not really.
But you seem a lot more at ease, a lot more at peace. I don't see you wrestling with any of the teachings where...
No.
Why? Mike has been sharing the different things he's been wrestling with. Why have you... you've wrestled with things over the years. You've come and gone and come and gone and come and gone, done what you want. Why isn't it a wrestle now? Why do you just receive what's said?
Because it's the truth.
How do you know?
Because it's Yahusha, it's the word.
Exactly. You feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel a lie, can't you? And you can feel the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's encouraging. Does this spark you on to want to reach your generation? Yeah. That was good, mate, what you were saying. You're exactly right. You're labelling and naming exactly what's been going on for years. Yahushua wants the fakery out. Everybody pulling up their socks when the shepherd comes around. What does that say about the relationship with Yahushua? You know, Yahushua's the real shepherd. Christopher's the under shepherd. What does it say about our relationship with Yahushua if everybody just goes back to whatever they want to do during the week? Isn't that just like religion?
Yeah.
Yahushua's not into that anymore, is he? Nope. Never has been. So can you see the sword's been coming in week after week?
Yeah.
Gouging it out. That's been an hour. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? The generation gap doesn't exist in the bride, does it? But we're called to reach our generations because our generations will listen to us more than it will others. Yeah? Yes. Yeah? What are you thinking right now?
I agree, yeah.
Yeah. Good, mate. Good. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Hope you found this interesting and pass it on to your quarries. There's more to come. See you later.